It all began in the spring of 1919 when a sympathetic Christian woman noticed a frustrated-looking young Chinese man walking aimlessly down the streets of San Antonio. As a new immigrant, he wished that someone would teach him to read and write English. Along with Pastor John Milton, she helped this young man and other Chinese men and women to organize an English-speaking mission using the Bible as a textbook. This marked the beginning of the Chinese Gospel Hall, which met in the livestock room and the courtyard of the Spanish Governor's Palace in downtown San Antonio. The mission served both to teach the English language and the Word of God. Many souls were won to the Lord through this ministry. In September of 1923, the mission was organized into the First Chinese Baptist Church of San Antonio. This signifies the beginning of our 85-year history. The church moved from the Spanish Governor's Palace to an upstairs room above a restaurant on West Commerce Street. The meeting place was affectionately called the Upper Room. The church had the distinction of being the only Chinese church in the entire South for 11 years until another Chinese church was established in Mississippi in 1934.
Walking in faith in 1941, Pastor Lawrence Stanley led the way to purchase land and construct a church building at 601 Avenue B in downtown San Antonio. The church continued to grow. In another step of faith, Pastor Jack Park in 1955 led the church to purchase the adjacent land to construct a new sanctuary and education building. The church remained at the Avenue B building, ministering to the Chinese population of San Antonio for over 40 years. The demographics of the church changed in the late 1980s, with much of the Chinese community residing on the northwest side of San Antonio. The church leadership recognized the need to relocate and placed the church property on the market to be sold. God was faithful again in providing a buyer who paid an above-market price for a half-acre parcel of land.
During the 2-year design and building process, the church met in the gymnasium of the San Antonio Christian School on Birdwood. Each week, the church had Sunday school in the school's classrooms and set up chairs in the school's gymnasium to hold worship services. While meeting at San Antonio Christian Schools, construction of the new building continued for 2 years. In November of 1994, the church moved into its new facilities at 5481 West Prue Road. The church was wonderfully blessed with 5 acres of land and 13,000 square feet of space for 3 buildings: the education building, the fellowship hall, and the sanctuary.
Psalm 100 verse 5 says, "For the Lord is good, and His love endures forever. His faithfulness continues through all generations." As you have seen, God has been faithful to First Chinese Baptist Church for over 85 years. As we walk forward in faith, We eagerly expect His faithfulness in the years ahead. Our church has been blessed with exciting growth in the past few years, and all too often we find our facilities stretched past its limits. Plans for expanding our church facilities have been in place for many years, as evidenced by a long-term building fund. A master plan study was undertaken 4 years ago and updated last year to determine the future facilities expansion to fully utilize our 5-acre campus. The Building Committee and Church Council are recommending a proposal developed by our design build construction company, which includes a 5,000 square foot education building, additional parking, and outdoor activity areas.
Currently, during large ministry events, we have exceeded our parking capacity. This master plan proposes increasing the number of parking spots. The playground will be relocated to an area east of the sanctuary building, providing close access to the fellowship hall and sanctuary.
The proposed education building will be located in the area of the current playground.
From its humble beginnings, 89 years ago, God has been faithful in meeting the needs of His people. Hebrews 11 tells us that faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. Stepping forward in faith, we at First Chinese Baptist Church are confident that God will do miraculous things as He works through His people in glorifying Himself, for He alone is worthy of our praise.